Welcome to Navigation Trading Live. You are now part of a growing group of do-it-yourself traders who are trying to change the way investors think about building wealth. But because we don't believe in using financial advisors, stock tips, or traditional financial media, we have to do things different. We have to do things smarter. We do that through an art and a science we call trade hacking. At Navigation Trading, our methodology is based on statistics and probabilities, not hype or emotion. Our core strategies have been used by market makers, hedge funds, and floor traders for many years. Now, we share these secrets with you. Whether your goal is to make an extra $1,000 per month or replace your current income, with our guidance, you can achieve financial success beyond your wildest dreams. So, let's get started. What's up, Navigation Traders? Monday morning, March 12th. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Let's jump into our live broadcast, Navigation Trading Live. If you haven't already, make sure you connect with us on social media, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. And remember, this broadcast is all about you. So if you have any suggestions or topics or things you want us to cover, please let us know. Drop us a comment here on Facebook or YouTube, or send us an email to info@navigationtrading.com. Got some really cool things working over the next couple weeks, and actually getting some help from our members. So keep up the good suggestions. We really appreciate them, and it's helping our community get better, giving our members more tools to be successful. So can't wait to share everything we've got coming for you. And one quick announcement before we jump onto the platform. Don't forget, we made the announcement. We are closing our pro membership to new subscribers. And as you can see, we've got about 7 days left. So next Monday, March 19th, that's closing down to new members. So if you've been on the fence or you want to check it out, make sure you do that before then. Just go to navigationtrading.com. You can click on products and then pro membership. Or you can just go to navigationtrading.com/pro-member. And you can check out all the details. But it's a very powerful membership. We've gotten to a point of capacity where if you are a pro member, you know how quickly we respond to your emails and how helpful we are. So I hope our current pro members appreciate that. I know they do. And then, but if you're interested in joining, make sure you lock in your membership before March 19th. All right, so let's jump over to the platform and see what's going on in the markets. So looking at the stock indices, SPY, NASDAQ, Dow, IWM, all up about 0.25% or less. So pretty flat overall, just up slightly. Oil down a little bit. The VIX popping its head up a little bit. GLD down about 0.5%, so gold. TLT bonds up a little bit. UNG net gas up over 2%. FXE, the euro, pretty flat to down. Some of these other emerging market and international ETFs up slightly. EWZ, the Brazilian index, up. Mexico just flat to down a little bit. XRT retail up about 0.5%. Real estate pretty flat. Chinese large cap up a little over 1/3%. XLE 0.5%, OIH, some of these energy related up a little bit. Biotech's up a little bit, and then getting into the futures, you can see S&P's up about a little over 8, NASDAQ up over 24, Dow up 72, Russell up a little over 5. And if we take a look at some of our stocks that we track, just want to see if there's any big movers. AVGO up over 2.5%. Baidu up about 1%. See if there's any other big movers here. Harley Hog up over 1.8%. Intel down over 2%. Kroger down over 2%. Momo down 2%. Micron Technologies up over 4.5%. Let's take a look at that chart. That's on top of a already big move, and leading up into earnings. So I know there's a lot of times a momentum play leading up to earnings in Micron. Looks like it came quite a bit earlier than normal because earnings isn't out here until about the 22nd. Let's see, Nike's up over 1.5%. Nvidia up over 1.5%. Yum Brands up over 1%. So those are some of the big movers. So we saw on Friday, just want to do a little recap on Friday of, looking at the S&P, for example. We had a huge move up and got a decent contraction in implied volatility. You don't really see that in the S&P 500. You see a little bit of a contraction in IV right there. But if you look at some of these other ETFs, let's just go down the line and look at, TLT, applied volatility just got crushed. If we look at EEM, went down a little bit. EFA got crushed. EWZ, applied volatility got crushed on Friday. Premium just getting sucked out of these options. XRT got crushed. Now it's popping its head back up. IYR, the real estate, down a little bit. Some of these energy ones. XOP, applied volatility just got crushed on Friday. XLK, XLV. So a lot of premium getting sucked out of the market on Friday, and obviously that's because of the big move up. A lot of the uncertainty or fear going out of the market, which makes the implied volatility contract. But we still have relatively high implied volatility in a lot of symbols. So, GLD was another one. Implied volatility just got crushed in GLD. So we'll be looking at some of our positions for our alert portfolio for our pro members, and we'll be making the necessary trade alerts here this morning after we get done. But the one thing I wanted to do for our trade of the week was take a look at the NASDAQ QQQ. So we had a little bit of contraction on Friday. Now it's popping its head back up. And you can see NASDAQ hitting new all-time highs after that sell-off in February, ripped back higher. And so what I want to look at is adding a position on. We still have nice and high implied volatility with a percentile of 78 and an IV rank of 26. In our alerts portfolio, we've got a couple of short call verticals that were previously iron condors, and we're holding those to keep some short delta in our overall portfolio. But what I wanted to do is to add another position in here and add an iron condor. So if we go to about the 20 delta, in this case 22, I'm going to right-click Sell Iron Condor. We like to go 3 points wide on these, so make that 183. On the put side, same thing. Go to about the 22 delta. It's the 166 put strike. So if we add that in there, go 3 points lower to buy the wings. What was that? 163 would be the strike that we would use to buy. So then we can take this over to the Analyze tab and take a look at that. So we've got some short bias, but to kind of help neutralize this, I want to add this iron condor where we're getting a good risk reward. Remember, we want our max profit or our credit to be at least a third of what we're using for capital. So $88 max profit, $212 is the capital usage, and that's our max risk on the trade. So this looks good. We'll put this on, and this will help kind of balance out our QQQ position, as well as just add some more premium in this period of continued high implied volatility. What I think is interesting, and I'll adjust the contracts, I'll shoot that out to our pro members after we get off here, but what I think is interesting is the fact that we're hitting new all-time highs, which would usually represent a contraction in implied volatility. In this case, we're still getting a little bit of a pop-up on top of what's already pretty high implied volatility. So what does that tell me? Well, it tells me that we're not necessarily out of the woods to the downside, or that we're still going to see some continued two-sided action in the markets. I don't think we're going to see a continuation of what we saw in 2017, where we just continually went higher, 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 higher with very little pullbacks. I think we're going to continue to see some two-sided action, and that's being represented by the pricing of the options, being represented by the pricing of that implied volatility. So that's what we'll do here for our trade of the week. Put on an iron condor in the Qs. Hope that was helpful, everybody, and we'll talk to you next week.